We're live. Okay, we are live. This is Senate Finance. This is Friday, May 22nd. And we have one bill. I think it's our last bill to get out, 942. That's miscellaneous agriculture. And whether you have a amendment or is it a strike all?
It is an amendment.
Okay.
So yesterday's committee asked me to replace the equine current use piece with a study and then strike the retails and use tax exemption piece entirely.
Well, just what they added.
That's the, yeah. So it's essentially
I'm not taxing skidders. I remember when all those logging trucks came in and smushed up Cheryl car. Well, they bought it. She sold it. They bought it down here. I don't know what Cheryl did. But they put her car out and thought long and smashed it.
She was so comfortable with this, or did they do it maliciously?
It was a demonstration of feeling.
Okay.
Wow. But no, I don't think she knew.
I've heard that story. Sounds like that story from Newport where that guy took his truck and drove over all the trees. There's a guy in Westford with a statue that has the. Oh, it's.
Okay. It is Friday. It is the end of the session and things are getting a little off track. Let's go look at the agenda. I started them off track, so. All right.
Okay, and Bradley Shulman, Office of Legislative Counsel. And so the first instance of amendment, this is draft 5.1 of an amendment to 8942. The first instance of amendment we showed you yesterday. But it's essentially the Commissioner of Taxes shall study and provide recommendations for including equine farming in the use value appraisal program. And the commissioner shall submit the report to the committees on agriculture, food resiliency and forestry and ways and means, and the Senate committees on agriculture and finance on a report December 15, 2026. Commissioner's recommendations shall include an analysis of the potential fiscal impact of permitting agricultural land and farm buildings that are used for equine farming to enroll in the use value appraisal program. And then some definitions that the commissioner will use. So just kind of using the definitions that are already in statute with exception of equine farming. So agricultural land, farm buildings and farmer. The equine farming piece, they added, they want to take a look at equine farming for gain or profit. And so they recommended not looking at enrolling equine farming that might be just for show or something of the sort. Yeah, and this is what they recommend.
Okay. Tax department.
That's what the tax department recommends. So
yeah,
that and I just want to flag that for you folks so you are aware that that's what that says. I can change that if the committee would like. So that's what that says.
That's what would make it easy for the tax department. I think that's probably fine.
The second instance of amendment is striking out 32 VSA 9741 in its entirety. So that's essentially that section. We're not changing the law in any way. We're just taking that section out of the bill that has to do with
taking out the law. The ununderlined parts remain in
that's
the law.
exactly right.
The underlined parts are gone.
That's exactly right.
The use value taxation.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's risky.
And the third instance is just renumbering the editing the effective date section because the equine farming piece had a different effective date than the rest of the bill. And because that has been converted to a study, it's just the entire thing is going to take effect on July 1st, 2026, the entire act. And that's the amendment.
Committee discussions, questions. You want to give it to the clerk, or do you want to do it?
Just looking to see if you're ready for a motion or not.
If there are no questions, and everything else in the bill remained, all the changes to the pricing and so all the rest, all the water. Apparently that had been through the house. All the water training, clean water training for farmers and yeah, that all stays in. This is our tax impact sections that we are doing.
So the reader assistance heading, that's the pricing stuff, right?
And are you looking at,
Third instance.
this is actually just the effective date section. And so it is striking out newly renumbered section 7, the effective dates of the bill and its reader assistance heading in their entirities, and inserting in lieu thereof a new reader assistance heading and a new section 7 that read as follow: effective date and then the effective dates.
But it's okay, maybe we can sit, but so this was the bill that had the pricing.
Yep.
So we're taking a pass on that.
No, Senator Beckett, I think the
Mike,
confusion, yeah, so we are amending the Senate agricultural report,
Right.
not the underlying bill. The underlying bill still has those sections because they did instances of amendment report.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, that's the confusion we had.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, you did too.
Could you flip the page one again, please? Just.
Just want Maggie Lentz on the record for the Rico Grocers Association. I just want to make sure, so the Senate Agriculture Committee did amend the unit pricing piece. So I just want to make sure that their amendment of the House unit pricing piece can be left as is.
It- it-
Uh,
That
It's
is-
still in here.
Okay.
That's not our domain.
Thank you.
I was originally thinking that they had done it all.
We're not stretching that here.
So
Okay.
we are not striking.
Yeah.
No,
And if I could clarify that, these are instances of amendments. So the underlying report that Senate Agriculture Committee is
Yeah.
otherwise untouched.
the only thing we're striking is the current use for equine farms until we find out how big a hole it puts. So
Yeah,
we're
what's the number?
taking the extension of the sales exemption for logging. Because it gets to be things that are not exclusively for logging and that has some risk. And it also would put a hole in the end.
The rationale for this amendment, is we have insufficient information to understand the full fiscal impact, et cetera, et cetera.
You may get to report this.
Yeah.
Keep it on for that.
Okay, but that is exactly why we're doing it. Okay. If there are no questions, I could use a motion.
I would move favorably, H 942, as amended as amending the Committee on Agriculture of the Senate's report with draft number 5.1 dated 5/14/2026, 8:37 PM. We're working late.
That's when I first made it.
Okay.
So yeah, so my apologies. I usually just update the draft number and not the date. So I apologize for that. Be forgetful of that piece.
Okay, Senator Chittenden has moved that we amend H 941,
Two.
H
Right.
942.
H 942. I do need new glasses. I'll take it out of here. Dated 5/14/26. And are there any further questions, amendments? If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. I am hearing that as 601. And I need a reporter. Nobody's on agriculture.
Happy to do it unless Senator Brock wants it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially all we're doing on this. So,
Okay,
I'm happy to report.
okay. I think you just gave the perfect.
I wrote it down.
Okay, thank you, committee. Thank you, Bradley. I think that is it for official meetings. I'm assuming things will be coming back from the House that we may have to check in on. We will, committees of conference will be bringing out reports on the two tax bills and the education bill. And they are all intertwined. It's going to be a very interesting floor presentation. But, I will keep you posted on that. And I believe we technically do need to meet to approve the reports of the committee of conference or not, so stay tuned. Maybe if you can all email me where I could text you, like a phone number, so I don't have them all. I don't know that I have a whole string in the Democratic string, but I don't name it attached to the number.
I'll text you
So if you send it to me,
Just want to create a group for them.
yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
if you could, whenever you
I've
set
got it.
up, then we everybody that way.
Oh, Chris.
If you don't need for me.
I'm gonna
No, I think
Thank
well, we
you.
have to
Thanks,
get a clean copy of the amendment.
The one that you have on your website is clean.
Okay,
Yep.
so we have a clean copy and we need to find the bill. I think Thomas, the bills in that top.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and.
Randy's bringing that up.
Randy's gonna bring it up, okay.
Senator Brock.
I'm starting a group for Senate Finance guys.
Okay,
Okay, so give it text.
We're done.
we're done, so you can start.
Feel like.
This is
Yes,
awesome.